Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SCC. We've got a very unique position here. AJ, you look nice and excited, so why don't you go ahead and spell it out for us? What have we got on the menu?
Okay, so for those of you that just missed the absolutely insane end to the Papis versus Belt Slap set, Papis, Pikarinoobs 2, and Smiley Face have all ended this split as 3-2 and have a rock, paper, scissors going between themselves in the head-to-head standing. So there's no separating them for this third and final seed going into the SCC finals. So we find ourselves in tiebreakers. Best of 1 games, played in a round robin between the two. All the team needs to do to qualify as third seed is win 2 games. And as I said before, we're going to be seeing Papis versus Pikarinoobs 2 as our very first set. Papis versus Smiley Face as game number 2. If Papis don't win both of those games, then we will be seeing Pikarinoobs 2 versus Smiley Face as well.
I'm super excited for all of these teams. You know, Papis, they've got so much tenure behind them. They've got so much grit and energy and talent as a team. So seeing them not go to playoffs would be devastating. But Pikarinoobs coming into this position as the top seed from SOC last split and really showing off their worth. So really excited to see who is going to be going through between these two teams and Smiley Face, who we'll see from a little bit later on. But AJ, it's only 1 game this time around. Let's jump into picks and bans.
Absolutely, and don't forget, in the rock, paper, scissors, Pikarinoobs 2 were the ones that came out of top in this matchup during the regular split in week number 1. It wound up 2-1 victors, and it was off the back of Rapio picking up this Tsukuyomi. So I would not be surprised if Pikarinoobs 2 look to draft into something like that. Or, if we're going to see anything cheese, you're going to see anything early game snowbally, this is going to be the game to do it. Best of 1s are your best chance at taking something which has been practiced in secret and just surprising the opponent and blowing them out the game early.
For sure. We always see it at LAN. We see it at Worlds pretty much every single year. Those best of 1 sets that start off the week are normally these kind of testing grounds, these breeding grounds for insane strategies and just, wow, where did that come from kind of stuff. I'm talking like people picking up Anubis at Worlds. That happened 1 year. I can remember the team. I can visualize their wait, it's happened every year?
Apart from Season 6 Worlds, Anubis has been picked at every single World Championship. It's been one of the best stats I think I've ever seen. But I think the team that's exemplified it most was Team Eager, because they had an entire strategy running with it. They had the best just proxy farming between Tier 2 and Tier 1 in mid lane at wave number 1, and then just evading the rep buff for free because he's Anubis. But we're shifting elsewhere. I think the most memorable strat for me that I've seen just pulled out in a do-or-die situation would have been Trix Tank back at the launch tournament, picking out, I think it was Sun Wukong support, and just invading your buffs consistently. And it was just called an absolute goat because of it. No one sort of expected it to happen. No one sort of predicted that strategy to come out, and it helped push them onto a 2nd place.
See, I came onto the scene just a little bit after that, so I've only seen the VODs, and I can only imagine how amazing that would have been to see live. But jumping into picks and bans for this game specifically, Tsukuyomi, you called it. There it is. First pick slapped right into the hands of, well, we can assume Rapio, but it could go to Captain Oti in the solo lane, potentially. Papis going to run back this Ra from their last set. Going to give that to Chekio, who had a fantastic time on it. So I have no issues with the Ra, other than the fact that Tsukuyomi is a bit of a counter to this Ra. Ra doesn't really have anywhere to go when Tsukuyomi decides to dash onto him.
I mean, but at the same point, Ra's probably one of the better mid laners dealing with Tsukuyomi, considering the second Tsukuyomi ults on top of you, you just stand in your heal, and he is forced to fight you in the arena that is Ra's Solar Blessing these days. Because Solar Blessing will give Ra extra power, give us some extra healing, give us some extra protections, whilst it will also lower your power if you are an enemy god standing in it, and it just becomes almost impossible to trade into. Warrior trades, though, is going to be very interesting in the solo lane. One with early game sustain in the lane in the Guan Yu, and then one with the nice bully potential in the Sun Wukong in that mid and late game.
Well, Guan Yu still definitely bullies. You know, he's got that shred potential.
Support Guan Yu.
Support Guan Yu, yeah. Osiris is going to be laning up against this Wukong in the solo lane, almost assuredly. Osiris is not a warrior to be taken into the dual lane at all. Papis going to pick up the Rama in response, but that's interesting. We haven't seen a lot of Guan Yu in that support role recently, even though we have seen an influx of warrior supports. Why is that?
I mean, I'm not really sure. I think Guan Yu is probably one of the best warrior supports in the game, simply because he brings a lot of protection shred, which you can use onto the objectives, which is why you're able to burst Gold Furies down so easily if you get him, online a bit early. Has that sustain in lane to help his ADC push a bit more aggressively, that dashing slow. But I think it's just because his wave clear takes far too long to get online. It's quite easily countered by those gods with stuns, those gods, with interrupts like the Kuzumbo Sumo Slam, which has been banned out. So there is just a fair too many counters to Guan Yu support to really make it work and be viable right now, I feel. But there's something else which could be happening with those picks. Very risky, which is what I like to see in best of ones. Osiris jungle, Guan Yu solo, the Tsukuyomi ADC.
As soon as you said something risky, I knew you were going to say
There's
Osiris jungle. What is this?
This is cheese. This is cheese, and I want to see it.
I was going to say that Papis would probably pick up the Sobek here. It's got a really good laning matchup into the Guan Yu, can interrupt the 3, can interrupt the Talo Assault with the Pluck, can anti-heal as well. So really good pocket pickup here. Giannis is being picked up here for Pikarinoobs. I actually really like this into the Papis comp, right? Hear me out.
No, honestly. Yeah, you go ahead.
So, Ra, as you said, he's got Pocket Bologna ult, right? He's got that little heal that does everything. And also portal, you can portal yourself through the ground or portal him through the ground and make that area a little less safe. Also, the shotgun kind of covers that entire circle. He's got really good ways of getting Tsukuyomi in and out of fights with the portal, which is the main thing that I want to touch on. But Daji getting picked up might just change that for me.
Okay, so for me, my entire analysis of Pikarinoobs 2's draft is get your smokes in the chat because they're holding W key. Just consistently diving. I mean, you have Guan Yu, one of the best warriors getting into the backline. Tsukuyomi just teleports there because of his ultimate. Set dives in afterwards and just joins the fray. Giannis gives them more mobility around that backline. Osiris, one of the premier backline diving warriors, is probably their weakest diver on this composition. So they're just looking to hit the ground running here.
There's definitely a lot of W key in this comp. That's for absolute sure. And I gotta give it to the Papis. I'm not a fan of melee ADCs, which is what I'm assuming this set is going to be. But you know what? Let's not even ask the question. AJ, let's go in. Triple backflip into this game. I'm so excited to see. It's going to be Davey, the ADC, on this set. It's going to be the Osiris support. Captain Oti in the solo lane with the Guan Yu, with Rapio jungling on the Tsukuyomi.
They're looking for an invade. They're looking for the level 1 fight early.
Wow.
It's just slows on their team. Slows, and more slows. Stuns are few and far between, but it is just, I want to kill you. Stop running away from me. I'm expecting a fair few wing blades being picked up here for the Papis. I'm expecting a sprint. I'm expecting, shells coming out as well. Just these big teamfight relics. If Pikarinoobs who do not win this game in 25-30 minutes, I really do see a scenario where they struggle to even break down the defensive stop which the Papis can bring out.
Honestly, less than that. I'd say if Papis don't win by the 20-minute mark, I gotta give this to Papis. The only real thing that the Pikarinoobs have at that point in the game, hold on a minute, Itori blinking in here onto an unexpected Warchi, does miss the sickles, so not gonna have that initial slow, misses it again, Tori. Gotta find those sickles if you're looking to play this Osiris support. Now, what I was trying to say is the only real late game presence Pikarinoobs have is the set, and set can be pretty easily CC'd by Marcus, by Chekio, by Creed.
From the man that's brought to you Chuck support in the previous week, he's bringing you Osiris support. it fills a similar role, just heavy, slow, heavy anti-auto attack based, warrior. Just wants to disrupt what the ADC wants to do. Uh, I honestly prefer it a bit better in this composition, simply because it's also got that anti-heal on his Lord of the Afterlife. Just reduces everything down permanently for a few seconds, meaning that Chekio won't be able to stand and fight in his heal for as much as he wants to do. It is a good counter pick for the draft. I just want to see it in the jungle if they're going to go for it, just to have a bit more influence around the rest of the map, or go for the solo lane.
Yeah, for sure. I personally think solo might be a better place to look as, well, Wukong is probably one of the safest warriors you could get, right? He's got that bird form that gets him away from anything. He's got the somersault cloud, which gives him that huge burst of healing, as well as safety, invisibility, the option to jump wherever, right? Personally, I think the one god that is, well, okay, Susanoo excluded, the one god that is perfect at tracking down and killing Wukongs is Tsukiyomi. So I agree. I think Rapio should potentially be looking to put some pressure onto Creed.
We'll see exactly how he looks to play this game out. Rapio loves to get off to early, aggressive starts, especially with picks that do just that in the early game. It's why we see him go on to Thor, Thanatos in the past. Darji comes out as an occasional pick as well. These gods that can just influence this early game very easily with their abilities. So Rapio is the person to watch. Potentially going to see First Blood happen around him. Whether it be him himself getting First Blood or him himself being First Blooded, I would imagine to see something in that KDA column pop up on him.
It would be... Rapio would be involved. He might not be the victim, he might not be the perpetrator, but he will be involved in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely, for sure. But in general, I do feel like this might be a rather slow start. Actually, calling my bluff, Marcus could look to be the first blood, but no, he is going to be able to teleport out thanks to Chekio being that little pole for him. For those of you unaware, Darji can only teleport to a target, whether that be a friendly or enemy god or minion, using the snipe. Chekio wipes it up and finds it blind. Pikarino falls down and First Blood is taken the way of Papis. My lord, this man does not miss. He doesn't miss.
Hello? Pikarino was about 2/3 health. I thought he was safe. I thought Chekio was clearing the wave, but no, just gets First Blood saying, thanks, mate, see you later, I'm now 2 levels up.
That's what
Half
they
health,
thought.
actually. Absolutely unreal. Chekio, don't let this man have Ra.
You can see as well, that's exactly what Pikarino thought. He moves away from the wave, expecting that to be the target of the searing pain, but no, he was the target, and either by sheer luck or by pure predictive calculation, Chekio manages to calculate that Pikarino is gonna move out of the way and finds him as he does so.
Marcus making a rotation over to this left-hand side, looking to try and relieve some of the pressure over from Davey onto Warchi. He's done just that by forcing Itori to come over here to, just make sure that his set ADC is safe. Gonna suck a bit of farm as well. Finding that it's level 5, so he's got some CC immunity to him. Interestingly enough, went for the Blink as his relic of choice, as well as attack speed boots. Looking to just stick to a target. Wouldn't be surprised if we see something that just allows him to do so, even without slows from his abilities.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Frostbound or a Midgardian male, potentially, if they want to fight him back. But over here on the right-hand side, Papis looking to get invaded. Captain Oti could be in a little bit of danger. Snipe just off the mark there from Chekio. I may have cursed him by saying the man doesn't miss, but that's the one that he does. He's allowed, but everyone on the side of Pikarino are going to get out. Blue buff will be safe from the Papis. That was a lot of effort to go through just to save Captain Oti's little blue necklace, but I think they're going to be rather happy about it.
Drake Marino's not going to be happy with the fact that he's missed that pluck, though. Drake Marino going to go into the portal as well, forcing to look in the waters early. Out comes the Lord of the Afterlife, but Itori just takes too much damage from that ability. Drake Marino just giving it back.
Look at that HP. To dust off a classic AJ, that is some squeaky bum time there for Itori, who walks away with barely 1 HP.
we just got word from production that it was 14 health that Ittori had when looking in the waters popped out the Draco Marino. If he had some... If he didn't have all of his passive up there, he was dead. The damage mitigation from Lord of the Afterlife saved him.
I'll tell you what, if Draco Marino had any other boots, he would have died.
Apart from Traveler would not have killed him as well.
Any other relevant boots, he would have died. Unless you're playing tier.
Relevant?
If you're tier.
Okay, fair enough. But I think that's Talaria there, so... Yeah.
You get the point. It's the same thing.
They do feel the same function. I don't know why they're called completely different things. Who cares, but...
This one's magical. One are magical shoes. They're magical shoes for magical, mystical wizards.
Draco Marino and Ittori fighting it out in the jungle once more, this time without ultimates being expended. Warchi has a bit of an army following him around, just as Matt acts as a failsafe between Davey diving in onto him. Just, you don't want to dive onto me. I have about 7 archers here. You can't fight at 7 archers and me. Just stay put.
Absolutely. Pikarino is probably one of the safest characters in the game right now. He's going to be looking to dodge, dip, dive, and dodge around
so close.
Everything. Well, oh, was I close? Did I mess it up?
Yeah, you said dip twice. It's dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge.
Well, I was so close, and, well, speaking of things that were close, Aitoru's attempt at getting a kill onto Warchi is going to be foiled for a moment, whilst up into the sky goes the Hunter. He isn't going to be able to hit all of those attacks, and Aitoru's going to walk away just barely. Pikarino not going to let Warchi make the same play, however. He's going to leave a portal in the wall there for his teammate, and that's going to allow Davey to come out. Chekio is there waiting! This man has an addiction to making people feel pain in a searing manner.
You just can't dodge that. Even if you can dodge a wrench, you can't dodge Chekio snipes. You can dodge Marcus's Paolau, though, as Rapio finds himself dancing around those little shots and gets himself to safety. Doesn't have to expend the beads on that one.
Petition to rename Paolau to Maypole because Rapio was just having a nice little dance.
Maybe on that skin only.
Yeah. I won. That's all that matters to me. I won. These teams might win themselves, but I won that, and that's important. But Aitori laying a trap for Marcus. He doesn't have the ultimate available to him, but not quite having the damage to these two players at the moment. Combination of Pikarino and Aitori not quite being able to do the damage to Marcus, which is a little confusing to me, seeing as Pikarino has this tier 2 artifact online, got the magical power boot, so I don't know. I feel like Marcus should have fallen down there.
He could have done, but they just elected not to rush in and dive onto him. He still had his Trickster Spirit available, so he could teleport away from any potential aggression that Pikarino and Ittori went off to do. Creed, he's got a lot of damage from Captain Oti there. Marcus is on the rotation as well, looking to maybe just try and force that cavalry charge before the blue buff defense starts, but already taking it. Rapio's on the hunt as well. Not going to find any form of invade, but does get the timer on the blue.
You could tell that Guan Yu had all of the stacks on his passive up because that dash made Sun Wukong so slow that the Tiger may as well have been standing still. Gives OT the time to just ole walk around. So it's going to be a nice little boon for him as next point of contention here, AJ. What do you think? I'm thinking it's looking like the Gold Fury.
I could agree to the Gold Fury being a bit of a fighting point. I could also agree to mid lane. Games usually tend to fit around a Ra if a Ra is one of the mid lane mages. So Chekio's going to have a big old target on his back, but he's been dishing the targets out. 2 kills for the Papis, and both of them belong to the snipes from Chekio, one of which was first blood. Ittori with the blink in, misses the sickle strike and misses the spirit flail. So no double slow combination goes out onto Marcus. He is A-OK and safe. As solo laners trade out ultimates, this is the opportunity that both junglers are waiting for to come over and gank, but it's the double-edged sword. They come over, they gank, they leave Gold Fury open for the rest of the enemies.
I feel like Aitori blinking in and missing the Spirit Flail has become a bit of a theme as Rapio isn't going to get missed by the block. He's going to manage to find the laser beams and do a lot of damage. Look at him, zip-zap jumping around. He is going to get two off that Crescent Moon Sickle is going to be good, and the portals are going to find him safe. He isn't going to be able to be hit by the Powwow. Marcus isn't going to have the same kind of luck, though. Davey will find that kill. Now, Warchi rolling away now up into the ultimate. He goes, trying to find the damage. Rapio falls down very low, but not as good of a marksman as his teammate. He's going to fall right back down and find himself a nice grave there, courtesy of Pikarinoobs. He's going to even out the scores on the doors, 3-2 at the moment in favor of Pikarinoobs. And this could potentially be a Gold Fury for them, but instead, Aitori is going to look to back away.
I don't think it was going to be a Gold Fury. They were all a bit too low to continue on to that aggression. And if Chekio shows his face, Draco Marino shows his face, they have to back off because they have to assume that Snipe comes back off with cooldown. 20% CDR on that Searing Pain means it's going to be up consistently.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he wants. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I would be surprised, but if I'm Chekio, I'm buying a Chronos Pendant. I'm letting all of those snipes roll. Yeah, it's a super short cooldown, and yeah, as I said, I would not be surprised if he chooses to build into that.
I would be surprised, considering he's already got those cooldown boots online. He's going to have a potion available to him later. He's almost certainly going to be building into a breastplate. I would build into a breastplate of Valor in this game if I'm this raw. Go into this. I want to. Go into this healing helmet that you can buy if you're the healer. The
Lotus Crown.
That's the one, Lotus Crown. I was thinking Celestial Legion helmet or something, but yeah, build into the Lotus Crown, build into the Breastplate of Valor. Just make yourself a unit to be taken down. And the only thing that could touch you at that point is Pikarino's Yanis.
Well, we could even, if he wants to build into this more supportive route, see him pick up the Rod of Asclepius. It's a lot of power on that item. I believe 110 for Rod of Asclepius, unless they've lowered that.
I think it's still 90 with 7% movement speed on it, 250 health.
It's still a lot of power, a lot of survivability for Chekio as well, and will allow him to kind of augment this Lotus Crown. And you can see he's definitely going for this supporty build. He's building a breastplate at the moment, which...
Told you.
Valor?
Yeah, it's going to be a breastplate of Valor. It doesn't really make sense for him to build into any of the other items that would build from that tree if he just wants raw cooldown. It also gives him a tiny bit of extra mana, MP5, in order to fire off those snipes a bit more often. And if you are going to be building into a more supportive, more utility-based Ra, you're going to want that CDR online as fast as possible.
More than fair enough, and it also stops him from getting full dove, as you said. This entire comp is dive, W key, me, smoke, kill you. And just having that extra little bit of survivability for the rest of his team to be able to come over and help him out, probably going to be invaluable to Chekio if he even is in danger. I don't think we've seen anyone truly get close to killing the man at the moment. It's been relatively safe, 2-0 and 0 at the moment on the Raras. Over here on the right-hand side, Captain OT. Would have gone for an extra string myself, but it's not going to bother him much, as he's going to pick up that blue buff nice and safely. Creed is forced to dash away, but that's just solo lane shenanigans. Let's get back into the action, as Rapio's looking to 1v3 and steal this red buff. The rest of the team aren't far behind. Into the laser beams now goes Rapio. He has found Chekio right in the background, and Chekio is forced to use the Aegis, but he's going to be just fine because of all that movement speed. Warchi, though, might find himself in a bit of a worse position as he is forced up into the sky, but Pikarinoobs looking like they could take a step back. The rest of Papis are here. Warchi, no roll available to him, and he gets absolutely melted on arrival. Not even a chance to blink.
Oh, Rapio's looking worse for wear though himself. He's going to have to back off, so it's a technical knockout onto Rapio, but a full kill onto Warchi. Second Rapio gets back from base. It will be a 5 versus 4, and I think that's going to be the call point for a Gold Fury, especially with every member of the Papis just walking away. They're giving this one up.
Yeah, this is probably unfortunate, but the Papis are able to respond in time, moving back into position, but Captain OT is making a fuss and a bit of a hullabaloo around the backline. Chekio falling down to half HP already, and now Davies looking to join in. There's going to be the first kill of the fight in favor of Pikarinoobs. Now slamming into the ground goes Aitori. Creed looks like he could be the next one to fall as he's taking a lot of damage, but up into the somersault cloud he goes. Pikarino is going to find his way through a portal, as is the rest of his team, as that was the ultimate expended. Back onto the Gold Fury now with Pikarinoobs, and in come the Papis yet again, but Marcus is going to get singled out, is able to find the Trickster Spirit there onto his teammate Creed, is going to be able to find him safe, but just barely misses the Sandclone there. Rapio looking even further, but the blink away from Marcus is going to be good. Now the ultimate from Rapio is going to be down, but it's Warchi, Draco Marino, and Creed now looking to survive under this tier 2 tower. Up onto the horse yet again. The second time it's Creed and use it. Captain Oti lands back down, gets the stun. Double kill for Davey. And the Gold Fury might finally be looked at.
Oh yeah, I was about to call Pikarinoobs to their out on being incredibly greedy for diving that tower, just looking for kills rather than the objective, but I'm glad I bit my tongue, because they come out with 2 more kills. They come out with a much better opportunity to do the Gold Fury. I say that, but Chekio is still alive, and he still has his Rock Snipe available, so there's still a big steal opportunity here. They've pinged him out, they know exactly where he is, and they've sent Rapid to do the dirty work.
They didn't have the damage to do it. Now the snipe onto Chekio. Oh my goodness. Where is his HP bar? It's nowhere to be found on this plane of existence. Down he falls. And now up into the sky go 2 members of the Papis. Creed is looking to heal, and Marcus is looking to pull them in. Now that's going to be 3 big damage when he lands. And now Pikarino's health bar is starting to be melted. Itori is on the second to kill list. That's going to be a double kill for Marcus. Itori shouldn't be too far behind, and Papis are going to reverse it straight back around. And they have a lot more pressure onto this Gold Fury than Pikarinoobs did.
Overstaying the welcome, looking for too many kills. You have to take the objective at some point, otherwise this exactly happens. You build up that momentum, you build up that head of steam, you build up all those kills, and it's all for nothing. As you can see the graphs, that entire minute or 2 has just become pointless for Pikarinoobs to do. All those kills for nothing.
It is a shame. Pikarinoobs not quite able to translate the stuff into the stuff after the stuff to dust off another old classic of the SPL broadcasting team, but Papis not making the same mistake. As you said, they were able to clean up the fight and pick up the Gold Fury. Now looking a little bit more confident. We were saying earlier, 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark is around the time Pikarinoobs need to be looking to end. And if I'm not counting poorly, AJ, I'm still seeing 5 towers on the board, 3 Phoenixes, and a very healthy Titan.
You're also seeing Chekio being singled out once again. Davey, the person this time doing the dirty work, going in aggressively first, but he's being hounded out by Marcus. Good through space and time is going to allow some escape and also allow some damage onto both Marcus and Chekio eliminated from the game.
But he's got so much tankiness that he wasted so much time and cooldowns from Pikarinoobs, but to be fair to them, I don't really think they're going to be too worried about it. Like, Chekio had some fancy feet under that tower. He was able to dive. I'm not even going to try it again, but he was able to really avoid a lot of damage. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. It looks like Pikarinoobs are looking to set up the Pyromancer. But nope, they just want a W key and fight again.
That's exactly what their composition is designed to do, is fight until there is nothing left to fight. That includes not just PvP, but PvE. So they look, PvP is the priority. They look to kill other players, and then they find and hunt anything else that's alive on the map.
Well, speaking of hunting things that are alive, down falls Creed's clone, and recognizing the location of the portals is going to dash away to another location, but it's not going to matter because Rapio's laser beam is going to track him down. Creed falls first in this engagement. Now the tier 1 tower in mid lane could be the next target. Draco Marino here, the stalwart defender, but even he's not going to be able to defend this one. Tier 1 tower's going to fall, and Pikarinoobs are looking to push even further, but Draco Marino, he's still all by himself here. He's going to go under the water to try and force Pikarinoobs to back, but there's not really much he can do. What is going on here? Draco Marino is going to fall down here thanks to the combined efforts of 3 people, but Warchi on the left-hand side is going to be picking up this tier 2 tower, looking to back before the rest of Pikarinoobs push that Phoenix, but I think that's a very successful split push there from Warchi, tier 2 for tier 2.
That is a very successful counter push from him. So again, the hard work the Pikarinoobs to do, getting that tier 1 tower mid, getting the tier 2 tower, it really just gets traded out for those tier 2 towers, those 2 towers on the left-hand side that Warchi got. So it's only just the kills that extend their lead a bit further. It's got its small incremental steps here for Pikarinoobs too, and they just need to find something to take that one massive pole vault into the lead.
Potentially, but Papis not really looking like they're going to give them a chance to do that. I'm going to keep harping on about it because it's very, very relevant, but Pikarinoobs are running out of time to really close out this game. Papis are really starting to come online, although Warchi still lagging behind a little bit, so they could have a little bit more than we first entailed. Dory's going to get flipped there, but nothing really to come out of it. What do Pikarinoobs need to do, though? Like, you said they need one thing that'll pole vault them in, but, well, yeah, how about Fire Giant? I didn't even notice. I'm glad you did, as it's already down to half HP, but they are going to drop it in favor of this kill. What are you doing, Pikarinoobs? You had the objective in sight. Don't turn around, and now it looks like one player is already going to fall down. Davey takes the grave, and that's the set. That's a bad player to lose. Tori is looking for these portals now. The dropship is once again being used defensively, and that is going to find most of Pikarinoobs safe. Papis, they go well. That was a good idea for Fire Giant, Pikarinoobs. Why don't we try that for ourselves and see if we can't do the same thing we did with Gold Fury?
They're going to have to back off, though. The presence of Rapio and Captain OG especially has been too much. Rapio can have his beads forced down. There's some good block by Drake Marino. Marcus is going to go straight in with that beads down. They know that Rapio's a sitting duck, but he's got those laser beams. Warchi first one to fall, courtesy of Pikarino. Creed low in the backline. Marcus low in the backline as well. Rapio low as well. And out comes the horse. Marcus, the next one to fall.
That's number one. As you said, all the HP bars on the Papis are low. It just is down to Pikarinoobs to close them out. Turns around looking for the snipe is Chekio, trying to find one kill in return, but isn't going to quite find it. He's going to fall down to Itori, who's finally starting to swing with a little bit of damage. If we can have a look at the damage charts, let's see if Itori's finally been able to pick it up. Setting pretty number 5 on his team for damage, which means he's dead last for Pikarinoobs.
I like the call now for the Fire Giant, with only 2 members available for the Papis, Drake Amiro and Icreed. Neither of them over here, so why not look to do this objective? Rapio going to leash the tank. Drake Marino coming in as quickly as he can. 4,000 health on the objective, 3,500. He's here to contest, but is he here to steal?
Underneath the water he goes. Perfect item to steal. Not quite timing it right. Drake Marino is probably going to meet his watery grave here in the right-hand side in defense of the Fire Giant. Papis are going to get it. Pikarinoobs are going to find the Fire Giant scot-free. It's going to be a very, very precarious position for Papis here. This is around about the time that Pikarinoobs need to be making this comp heard. And if they can't do it now, then they're not going to be able to do it at all.
So this Fire Giant sort of extends their ability to win, sort of extends their time limit to win the game by about 3 to 4 minutes, I would say. Simply because the Fire Giant will allow them to get a bit of an extended lead and make their comp felt just a bit more. The fact that it has been a kill-heavy game, a fight-heavy game, has favored Pikarinoobs draft a lot because it extends this mid-portion of the game. It doesn't allow teams to get to that late-game hyper-build, full item stage fast enough. So Pikarinoobs 2 have gotten themselves a larger window to do this game victory in.
Well, hopefully for Papis, they can look to find a defense. They're always famous, as we keep harping on about, winning that one team fight at the crucial moment and flipping it on its head. But was that team fight a Gold Fury? We'll have to find out, as the Phoenix Siege on the left-hand side looks like it could be started, but a few members from Pikarinoobs are going to call, nope, we want to back first, and he's going to call the all retreat, and everyone's going to back away, look to spend the gold that they just earned from tearing down those structures, and have to come back a little stronger for it.
So we're about halfway through Pikarinoobs 2 Fire Giant. Let's do a midpoint assessment of their Fire Giant. How has it been so far? Well, they managed to get themselves a Gold Fury. They managed to get themselves some towers down. So far, so good. I'll give it about a B+, an A rating so far. Just needs to get a few more things to be able to push it up into that A8 star rating.
It looks like they're not going to be afraid of it, as the minion waves are pushed and poised ready. to try and take down this tier 2, and Tori making so much space here
Oh
for
my
Marcus.
God.
Look at the damage. Tori, what are you doing to him? Let him go.
Stone cutting and toxic blade.
So I'm very surprised. Didn't build into the Frostbound or the Mid Guardian like I thought that he would, but did instead choose to go for more of a attack-based build, getting more attack speed and the stone cutting, as you said, reducing those protections for the rest of his team. Rapio is going to get plucked out now. Papis on the defensive in this right tier 3 tower, I suppose. Davey is going to be the first one to fall as Creed is going to die. Now here comes the portal. Shot through space and time from Giannis. One falls down. There's going to be a kill. Credit to Itori, but Marcus is going to turn it around. One goes for him as well. Warchi is going to be the one to fall, which is a very important target here. Captain Oti is going to take down Marcus, who's the main troublemaker here for the Papis, but that's going to be... How many members is that? There's 2 members down for the Papis. 3 members down for Pikarinoobs. Papis definitely out on top. 4 members on top, absolutely. Itori's going to take a spill here, leaving Captain Oti all by his lonesome. Papis hold, win the fight. And AJ.
I think the clock is striking midnight at this point in this story. It is 4 kills for 2. And admittedly, I don't think the fight started out well there for Pikarinoobs 2. Davey goes aggressive and forces out the Paolo, and then doesn't, find a safe path to retreat, gets himself killed completely. They do trade for Warchi almost instantly on that kill, but Pikarino was left by himself, wasn't able to just rush in and dive with the rest of the team. And those 2 isolated targets just getting picked off too early in this fight meant that Marcus got, everything done that he needed to do as this Darchi. And the rest is just, the Papis cleaning up the work that happened.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see from them, that this is the kind of play that gives us a hint of the Papis' true playstyle. They're normally so collected, so together, so team coordinated, but these last 2 sets we've seen from them, they've been a little disjointed. I said about the spine with a few slipped discs last set, and I think for this game the same has kind of held true. It's been a little disjointed. We haven't seen many follow-ups from Draco Marino's plucks. Chekio has really been the playmaker with these snipes, but I don't think I've ever seen a Paolao into a snipe, for example, from Marcus to force out those beads.
No, most of these have just been freehand snipes, and it's been working out for the Papis. Don't get me wrong, but when your Ra's gone from 2-0-1 to 3-4-1, something has changed in the dynamic of the team fights. It's no longer been Chekio's able to get these freehand ultimates off and get himself a very nice pick and a nice montage moment. It's been, they've systematically targeted out this Ra just so he doesn't have the sustain available to the rest of the team in the rest of the fight, and when they manage to back off. And Marcus wishes he had some of that sustain right now. And he's going to do exactly... Oh, the snipe nearly connects as well. Pikarino and the rest of the members of Pikarinoobs charge forward.
Well, up into the sky goes Creed once again, looking to find more HP, but Pikarinoobs are already on the full retreat. The clone is going after them, but, well, that's going to be the fight. Puppy's not really too invested in fighting into this, and I can't blame them. It's probably the best call for them right now to potentially even let Fire Giant go in favor of Pikarinoobs. Are they in a position to defend here?
I think they can just give up Fire Giant. No one's around on those wards that they can see, but unfortunately, this is something which a lot of people may not recognize, the fact that we get to see where everybody is on the minimap at all times. Most of this information is not available to the members of the Pikarinoobs squad or the Papis squad. If the Pikarinoobs 2 squad saw exactly what we saw, which is no members of the Papis on the right-hand side jungle, everyone's just back to base, they would have started out that Fire Giant day in, day out, and taken it before Papis even had a chance to say anything.
Oh, what I would do to be able to have this camera angle in-game. Because that wouldn't be, cheating or anything. No. That's fine. Enhanced Fire Giant has spawned though, AJ. It's 30 minutes into the game. Papis in a position now where they could look to come back into it. Pikarinoobs, as you said, the clock has struck midnight. They're on their way out of the ballroom with their slipper on the stairs. So can they manage to find their way back home before Prince Charming catches up to them? I think that one fell apart from me at the end there, but it still works. Creed taking a big chunk of damage, and that's going to be the all clear for OT to charge in here. Horse is up, and he's going to find 2 people stunned there. Warchi already forced to use the beat. Now, Davey coming in now to Warchi, but Creed is going to be the new target for him. The fight is getting very disjointed now. Creed is going to find his way out. Tori is going to find Chekio, though, before he's able to snipe. So no Ra available. Warchi does find Rapio, and now Marcus pulling one to the power loud. Davey falls down. Papis looking now that they could make a competent defense yet again as Tori is once again pulled back into the Phoenix's clutches. He's going to fall down. Double kill for Marcus and Pikarinoobs. They've been caught. Their carriage has turned back into a pumpkin. Papis are on the full offensive now, looking to pick up that fire giant. And Pikarinoobs are just going to have to deal with the fact that they're never going to be the bell.
See, just Marcus is creating so much space for the rest of his team, splits the fight perfectly in two, isn't able to help his ADC survive his mid laner, sorry, survive that engagement, but is able to help the rest of his team just control the engagement and control the Phoenix Siege. Good idea from Pikarinoobs to allow Papis, a lot of room to come out of their Phoenix and come out of their base. They just couldn't dive effectively, though. They couldn't W key hard enough.
And that's the problem for this comp. We've said it 3 times before, but I'll pop the magic number 4, and that is that Pikarinoobs with this comp have always been on a very, very tight leash in terms of the window they have to secure this win. And that window is very, very narrow at this point. Papis have won not 1 but 2 fights, not even losing a Phoenix either time the Pikarinoobs have looked to siege it. That's bad.
They're going to have to think of something different at this point. Rather than just full-on all W keying on the same Phoenix, why not W key on different Phoenixes? There's 3 of them to choose from. Maybe wait till the Papis are more so in the jungle before looking to engage on the fight, because they have to fight them outside of the Phoenix. They have to draw them in further, and the only way they can do that is by starting up Fire Giant and then looking for the fight.
And the Papis are going to oblige to just that, as Tori once again looking to find this backline. Going pretty deep to find it. Pikarinoobs have split up the fight, but they are very spread out at the moment. Luckily, they do drop the Fire Giant, but Captain OT looks like he's ready to go back onto it at a moment's notice. The healing is going to be good, though, from Pikarinoobs. This is something that both teams have. They have a pretty chunky heal, except the one on Papis is up a little less often, so Captain OT is probably going to be looking to pump out a little bit more slow burst healing, whereas Papis have a bit of a higher dealing one. But here we go. There's the damage coming through. Itori is going to be the first target for Draco Marino. Under the water he goes. Very low HP already. Warchi already forced up into the sky. He's come back down. Davey's going to find him already. Captain OT now.
Just go fire. Just go fire.
Up this right-hand side. But yes, Pikarinoobs are going to drop it, hopefully, and finally take an objective.
So that fight just gets won straight away from Pikarinoobs because of the main man himself. Pikarino with the snipe just immediately takes Chekio out of the fight, dissects it perfectly, and separates Marcus from defending Warchi. Warchi left out to dry. 2-7, bottom of the player damage charts. This draft's just been cannon fodder in every single engagement.
Not quite enough in his build or in his team to peel for him. Apparently now Enhanced Fire Giant is going to be the belt that Pikarinoobs wear, and they're charging down. Can they finally siege up this right side Phoenix successfully? And, well, polls say yes. AJ is down. It falls. Creed falls to half HP. Now Pikarinoobs look to potentially retreat.
1 Phoenix down, 2 to go, but those 2 are optional. It's just the one that is absolutely necessary on the checklist for the game win. 35 minutes, and at this point I would have expected Papis to have a comfortable grasp on the game, but it's still looking like Pikarinoobs 2 dictating absolutely everything. It's the hidden factor of these Janus snipes that have just been winning or losing these fights, and it hits a valued target on either Warchi or Chekio. It seems to be Pikarinoobs 2 have won those fights single-handedly. If it's been just a complete whiff and used mainly for mobility or getting out, then the Papis have looked in total control of those fights.
So is that what the Papis need to rely on? They need to rely on making sure they have vision on Pikarino so that they can avoid the snipe when it comes? Or is there anything else that Papis can do to kind of take the fate of this game into their own hands?
I think they just need to do what they do best, which is win team fights they really have no business in winning. Just try and wait for Pikarinoobs to overextend like they have done consistently during this game, and hope and pray that you've got what you need to get from that fight, and which is enough players of the Pikarinoobs side dead that you can start pushing on objectives yourself.
Well, objectives are definitely the next item on the menu, as Pikarinoobs taking a play out of your playbook, AJ, and splitting up 2 lanes at the same time. We're going to be, well, 3 lanes, actually, if you consider Rapio hanging over here on the right-hand side. He's got a dead Phoenix there, but he is pulling some attention from the Papis. They got to keep it in the back of their minds that he's there. And now looking to siege up these Phoenixes, our Pikarinoobs. Waiting for these waves, but there's only so many times that they can wait around and watch the waves get killed. Rapio, this is where that play comes into factor. He's been clearing out those waves on the right-hand side, making sure those fire waves push in, but Captain Oti, he's going to get plucked. Now down under the water goes Drake and Marino. Captain Oti is going to get hit on the backside with that fire fault, but it's not going to matter too much to him, as Rapio's the next target, but the snipe destroys Marcus. And the mid Phoenix could be forfeit here. Isori's getting plucked out, but the health bars are low all across the board. Drake and Marino forced back Creed, the only one really in their spite, but it's not really Creed, it's just the Shadow. And Pikarinoobs picked up yet another Phoenix to add to the list. Captain Oti's got a very good heal alongside the Fire Giant buff to keep his team nice and healthy. They don't even need to back before looking to pick up this left side Phoenix.
2 down, 1 to go. This one's also optional like the other one was, but also optional is killing Warchi, and looks like that's the option they want to go for. All hands on deck for this dive. Warchi forced back into the fountain, and that's going to be A-OK for the third Phoenix. 8,000 health, about 30, I think it's 30 magical, 60 physical protections remain on the Titan. It is nothing. At this point, they can just wait for the Fire Giant regen. They can wait for the Guan Yu regen. They can wait for the Sienna snipe. They can end this best of 1 here and take a firm step as claiming the 3rd seed.
Marcus has just respawned and he does have the power level available to him now. So Pikarinoobs doing the smart play, starting to back off just for a moment. Make sure that they're all fully healed thanks to, as you said, the regen, thanks to Captain Oti. And look at this. They're doing the dropship strategy. Pikarinoobs got the ultimate available to him. This is going to be a one and done. Either they lose at this Titan Siege right here, right now, or they pick up game number 1 against the Papis. And as you said, really tip the balance as to who will walk out of this...
Oh, they see 2 of them on the right-hand side. This is the time they're looking for going, and they see all 3 of them, actually. Phoenix has respawned. They don't see 4 of them underneath the Phoenix. They're waiting again. They're waiting for Chekyo. They're waiting to see. They're trying to catch somebody first for the fight. They do. Well, Chekyo's the mark.
Pretty late in now. Chekyo's going to reply with his laser of his own, but it's not going to matter. He's been evaporated before he even gets a chance to turn around. Now, Davey and the rest of his team are surging forward. I thought he was going to find one. Watching was the target. Marcus now up into the power line. This one is going to get beaten out. Only Captain Oti pulled to the pillar, and he is going to fall down, but Davey is going to find the return kill onto Marcus now. 4 players left standing on the side of the Papis. Captain Oti isn't one of them, though, and that means that the healing is no longer available for the Papis, but when it's just the 2 tanks left standing, doesn't even matter. The 3rd Phoenix is going to fall down yet again, and the Titan is already being looked at. Draco Marino causing a lot of space. Pikarinoobs falling pretty low, but he's still here in that Titan room, but Creed is going to find that
Too
kill.
many minions.
Grand Papis
Too many
fall.
minions.
No, they can't. The minions are winners, ladies and gentlemen. Pikarinoobs are going to pick up game number 1 of these qualifying sets. Papis are going to find themselves in a near impossible situation now. They need Pikarinoobs to lose their next game, and they need to win their next game themselves to be able to still be in this. But Pikarinoobs, AJ, the team coming out of the SOC just last split, are looking like strong contenders to make it to playoffs.
We said that draft wasn't going to last past about 25, 20 minutes, maybe even 30, giving a bit of generosity to them. It was 40 minutes into the game, and they were still commanding the team fights. They were still the ones, making sure that the game was being pulled left, right, and center to their whims, not to the Papis' whims. The Papis looked on the back foot throughout the entire game. Warchi, Chekyo, and Marcus just Well, Marcus less so, but Warchi and Chekio had no chances in these fights. The second they were earmarked as the target in the fights, it was over for them. No matter even if they had the shell, the Aegis, the beads up, they were just dead. And all credit to Pikarinoobs too. It's one more victory for them. Fate is in their own hands. But like you said for the Papis, they need to hope for a tiebreaker reset to happen now. And to do that, they have to win their next set, and they have to hope that Smiley Face take down Pikarinoobs too in our third set.
Well, and even if they do, if Smiley Face claim a victory in that next set, which we will be seeing in just a few moments here against the Papis, Papis need to win Smiley Face. That's true. I forgot the order for a second. I thought we were going to see Pikarinoobs versus Smiley Face next, but it will be Smiley Face versus the Papis, so they got yet another game to play. Hopefully we can see a little bit of a shakeup. I want to see if they're going to put Chekio on Ra again, which, honestly, I think they should. He really shines on this god, no pun intended. But they need to allocate someone to protect him. I don't think I saw Draco Marino or Creed peel for Chekio, really, that entire game. And maybe it wouldn't have mattered. You know, maybe he would have died anyway. But there's a chance that he wouldn't. And if he gets out, maybe they can reset the fight.
For me, it's just it's not looking like the same team fights that we see out of the Papis. It's all very disjointed. It's two separate team fights. Papis excel when the team fights are all clumped together into just one unit and one area. Get back to the basics. Get back to you just playing balls to the wall aggressive straight away. Just go straight ham, cheese, and crackers. Do whatever it takes to just get the onus in the early game. Start winning from minute one.
Straight ham, cheese, and crackers. Wonderful quote to end us off on there, AJ. As we are going to be throwing you to a quick break, as I just said. When we get back, Papis, their fate will be decided one way or the other against Smiley Face. Whether or not they can still hold out hope for a bracket reset, or if they are going to be missing out on playoffs this time around. Ladies and gentlemen, stay right where your seats are, because I know that I'm not going to be able to go anywhere for the next few minutes. We'll see you in a sec.